Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. We are a non-commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the apps, subscribe to our Patreon. You can also send us a one-time tip via PayPal. All the links are in the description to this episode. With your support, we are getting better. My name is Artem and here is the news. For 313 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. Ukraine conducted a successful missile strike at the base of Russian invaders in the city of Makiyivka, Donetsk Oblast on December 31st, reports Ukrainska Pravda. According to the Ukrainian authorities, about 400 mobilized Russians were killed and about 300 more invaders were wounded to varying degrees of severity. It was noted that the Russian soldiers were stationed in the building of the local vocational school number 19. Ukrainian General Staff confirmed the attack but stressed that the losses of Russian military personnel are still being determined. The Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed that the armed forces of Ukraine destroyed a group of Russian militants in the city of Makiyivka, but officially admitted that only 63 occupiers died there. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky held his first phone call of this year with President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen, reports Interfax Ukraine. They discussed the implementation of a new macro-financial assistance program for Ukraine in the amount of 18 billion euros. Zelensky stressed the importance of receiving the first tranche of this assistance in the amount of 3 billion euros already in January. The President of the European Commission noted the great progress made by Ukraine on implementing recommendations of the European Commission provided in the context of Ukraine's acquisition of EU candidate status. The interlocutors discussed the expected results of the next Ukraine-EU summit, which will be held on February 3rd this year in Kyiv, and agreed to intensify the preparatory work. Zelensky and von der Leyen also talked about the situation on the battlefield and about the consequences of regular Russian shelling of civilian infrastructure. They touched upon the ways to further strengthen the armed forces of Ukraine through the supply of appropriate weapons. Regarding the humanitarian support of Ukraine, the European Commission plans to finance 15 million LED lamps that will arrive in Ukraine in January. The EU also finances restoration of schools in Ukraine and school buses for them. In his evening video address, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky informed that only 2 days have passed since the beginning of the year and the number of Iranian drones shot down over Ukraine is already more than 80. This number may increase in the near future, believes the president. According to him, Russia is planning a prolonged attack with Shahed drones. Its bet may be on exhaustion of Ukrainians and their air defense, energy sector. Zelensky stressed that it is important to ensure that this goal fails like all the others. He called on everyone involved in the protection of the sky to be especially attentive. A man injured in Russia's massive missile attack on Kyiv on December 31st died in hospital, reports Suspilne. According to Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, the 46-year-old man was in the intensive care unit in serious condition. Overall, 1 person was killed and 22 injured, 15 of whom were hospitalized as a result of a Saturday enemy attack on Kyiv. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Valery Zaluzhny informed that Ukraine's troops managed to liberate 40% of the territories occupied after February 24th and 28% of all territories occupied by Russia, reports Espresso. According to him, the active front line with the invaders at the moment is 1,500 kilometers. Zaluzhny said that more than 20,000 Ukrainian servicemen were trained abroad in 2022 thanks to partner states. The training was carried out on the territory of 17 European countries. Also, more than 1,000 seriously wounded Ukrainian servicemen were sent for treatment and rehabilitation to the Netherlands, France, Ireland, Norway, Denmark, Spain, Poland, Germany, Italy, Romania, the US, and Israel. During 2022, almost 29,000 soldiers were awarded state awards for their courage and heroism, and 160 servicemen received the title of Hero of Ukraine. The Prosecutor General's Office of Ukraine has notified the governor of the Russian Central Bank of suspicion of encroaching on the territorial integrity of Ukraine over the opening of branches of the bank in the temporarily occupied territories of the state, reports Interfax Ukraine. Branches of the Russian Central Bank were opened in 2014 and 2022 in Crimea, Sevastopol, Lugansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. If you like what we do and would like to tip us, you can now do so directly to our PayPal. check out the link in the description to this episode for more details. And as usual, you can subscribe to our Patreon. In gratitude for your help, we will give you access to a series of exclusive episodes on wartime life in Ukraine. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.